It's the Shatkin First Down Pregame Show, presented by Dr. Todd Shatkin and the Aesthetic Associates Center, with your hosts, Rich Gaenzler and Dr. Jared Shatkin, and our special guest, Bills superfan End Zone Elvis. Now, from the Shatkin Sports Network studios in Amherst, here are your hosts, Rich Gaenzler and Jared Shatkin.
Welcome to the Shatkin First Down Buffalo pregame show. Rich Gaenzler, Dr. Jared Shatkin, back at you. Thanks for watching and supporting this show for the 5 years we've been doing this. We do it again today. Mafia going to join us. We'll break down the Bengals game coming up, but we start with the Steelers game. You know, I do feel bad because I did predict the Steelers to win in that game, and it was not close. And I mean, the first half, yeah, it was, you know, the Bills were kind of finding their way, right, in that first half. And obviously they gave the ball away a couple times. But man, I don't know what was said or what they did at halftime, because that first 5 minutes of the second half really turned the game around.
Yeah, I mean, I think that play by Joey Bosa and the touchdown by Bedford, I think that was really kind of the change of the whole game. And then you get Aaron Rodgers out and Rudolph throws a pick, and from there on out, the Bills just dominated the rest of the game. And I think it actually started in the end of the first half. I think Josh started to come around and he started to play with a little bit of aggression, which I really, once he and Hayward started getting in that fight, I said to my fiance, I said, oh, he's about to start balling a little bit. And it's not that he had to, but he did play with a little bit of an edge, and I think the rest of the team kind of took that.
Yeah, I mean, and again, back to the halftime, right, take care of the football, which they did in the second half, and take the ball away in the second half, which they did. And when the Bills take the ball away, they win generally.
Yeah, if you can get the Bills in a short field, they're going to win. They're going to capitalize. They are a well-coached team that usually doesn't make mistakes once they get the ball off a turnover. And they scored points on almost every drive in the second half, and it seemed pretty easy. It seemed methodical, and it seemed like the Steelers crowd was also starting to think it was a little too easy, because they're starting to boo the Steelers and they're booing Renegade,
I know,
which you'll
right?
never hear in your life. Yes.
Well, the crazy, some crazy stats. Obviously, we know about the run game, obviously, which was huge. But Joe Brady deserves some credit, right? I mean, yes, he had a week and a half to get ready for this game, but he deserves a lot of credit knowing that Vandermark and Anderson were playing, that they weren't going to be able to block Herbig and T.J. Watt, most likely, right, coming off the edge. So what did he do? He instilled an offense. 29 times they ran the same play. The Bills did what they do well, and they stuck with it.
Absolutely, but I think also a big reason he's able to do that is because we got that lead in the second half.
Yep.
If we're playing from behind, I think maybe Brady gets a little bit shaky and we start throwing more pass plays in there, and it gets a little different. But the fact we got the early lead, we were able to get Ray Davis involved, James Cook involved, just two players that, you know, played a very good game, and the blocking scheme was fantastic. And they talk about it being the same play every single time. Theoretically it is, but it's really a down block, and from there it's James Cook finding the hole, using his vision, using his speed. It turns him into a football player, and I love that about Joe Brady in this game. He allowed James Cook to really be a free running back, be able to see the holes, make the cuts that he wanted, and become James Cook.
Incredible stats, though. 42 minutes of possession, 26 first downs in that game, and drives of 14, 15, 8, and 16 play scoring drives. Really incredible.
Yeah, and I don't know if I just heard this wrong, but at the end of the first half, when we didn't end up scoring on that fourth down, I thought they said that we had the ball for 30 minutes of possession.
30 minutes real-time possession, yes.
That is pretty insane that they were able to possess a ball that long, and you definitely got to give credit to an offensive coordinator who has that many plays in his bag to call a 30-minute real-time drive.
Let's talk a little bit about the defense. I don't remember, aside from Benford, really anybody's name being called in the secondary. I mean, they got to protect. Here's Hairston coming off a concussion. He only played 13 plays, so by virtue of Benford's play against Metcalf, I thought Trey White had a really good game. Right, you didn't hear about the safeties ever really in the game. You got to protect Hairston, which I think was huge in that game.
Yeah, I think Trey White played a really nice game.
Yeah.
He was really tight on coverage, and he made a play in that opening drive that they could have called a PI possibly, but he was really physical at the line, and he was confident in the way he was playing. And yeah, I think you would have heard a bunch of Bills fans start calling for Maxwell Hairston to get more snaps if Trey White didn't play so well. And then, yeah, you talk about the safety position. There really weren't a lot of plays there to be made. I mean, Aaron Rodgers wasn't threatening you downfield, and there the receivers really weren't open. We talk about our receivers not getting separation. I mean, I think even less the Pittsburgh Steelers were not getting much separation.
Good stuff for the Bills. We'll talk more about the Bills against the Bengals at the end of the show. Between the Mafia and a special Bills guest, join us next, right here on the Shatkin First Down Buffalo Pregame Show.
Hi, I'm Dr. Todd Shatkin here with Hall of Fame running back Thurman Thomas.
My family and I have been coming to Dr. Shatkin's dental office for years. The office is beautiful and the staff is outstanding.
Thanks, Thurman. It's been an honor for me to take care of you and your family.
For a Hall of Fame smile, go where the pros go. Dr. Todd Shatkin at the Aesthetic Associates Center.
Call today for a free consultation, 839-1700.
All right, he is out of his superhero costume.
Got a Josh sweatshirt on, yeah.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. And you can't wear it 24/7. It is special, right?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Bill's Elvis, John Lang joins us on the show, and it's great to see you. And you're a lifesaver because we waited till the very last minute to get you on, and here you are. On a week where you had hoped to be quiet, and of course I'm bothering you. But I wanted to ask you, obviously, about a couple things, obviously about the Bills in general, but also about your recent travels. Can you talk about your trip out west and what you did and saw and participated in and how amazing it was?
Yeah, it was my third trip to Wyoming this year, third trip to Laramie. Wife and I went out for Jubilee Days, and then we went out for the Bills Mafia weekend that we had there, which was really successful this year. That was our 5th year of doing that. And I had somebody from the university call me and a few other people saying, you got to come out for the Josh weekend. You got to come out. And I had somebody offer me a ticket, and I ended up in a nice box seat and everything. So I went out, and it was absolutely amazing. It really was.
Talk about just the feeling of pride that you probably had knowing that our current quarterback, their past quarterback, goes there and has his jersey retired, and he's right in the prime of his career. He's a long way from having his career being over when most people's jerseys get retired, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, it was a great sense of pride. It was, he is just so beloved there, like he is here, and you got to hand it to the guy. He always says the right thing and carries himself the right way. And it's amazing to see how loved he is out there. And, like I said, it's just like here. It's just awesome.
You wonder, if that had anything to do with how he performed in the Steeler game, right? The Bills had 10 days off. People have forgotten that the Bills had a long time to prepare for that game. And I thought they prepared well. I thought they did what they should have done. Pretty predictable. And yet, even though they got the job done and the Steelers couldn't stop them. Talk about maybe that time where Josh was away, he got some time, and maybe that helped rejuvenate his game a little bit too.
It seemed like, he was surrounded by the alumni people, his old coaches, just everybody in the whole stadium was going crazy about him and stuff, which was just awesome. The marching band they came out, did a Bills design, a number 17 design, and it was just so awesome to see that. And then, to know he got some rest.
Yeah.
It seemed like he was pretty banged up after that, the Texans game. And I think it helped him. I really do. Looking at it from a fan perspective, it really did look like maybe helped him. And then, And the first half, I didn't think we played that great down there, but boy, a couple things really seemed to turn the whole game around. And I think one of them was Josh getting hit when he slid.
Mm-hmm.
And then that other, the other giving him the business there.
The back and forth with Hayward. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. But boy, the second half of that game was just great to watch. It really was.
Hallmark movie. Tell me a little bit about that.
I still haven't seen it myself, actually, but from what I'm told, I'm in the opening scene or around the opening scene. It was funny because they told me when I initially was contacted about it, they said, "Oh, we have a paid speaking role for you," and I was like, "Oh, super cool! All right," So ended up I had to be in East Aurora at 4 p.m, and then I was bussed over to the Bar-Bill, and there was Pino Ron, me, Pizza Pete, Del Reed, and a few of the other media guys there and stuff. And they had us sitting at the end of the bar. And I was like, "Hey, by the way, what's my speaking role here?" and and it was funny. Well, it's go Bills and high five the bartender. I'm like, "Oh, I can do that." That was great. It was fun. It was neat to be a part of for sure. Yeah, it really
so
was.
They fed you your lines as you went.
Yeah.
It is great to see you, my friend. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Obviously, congratulations on the movie. Congratulations on your travels. Congratulations on being one of the greatest Bills fans ever. And get some sleep. I'm sorry. I robbed you of 15 minutes of your night, man.
No worries. And appreciate you having me on, Rich. Good to see you again.
You too.
All
Go
right.
get some shut-eye, and we'll talk to you soon. Have a great Christmas.
You too. Thank you. All right.
Okay, team, we're down by 6 with only one play left. It's comeback time. Yeah! We need a play. The reverse ribeye, no good. The porterhouse pitch, too risky. The strip steak sweep, that's it. Go Russell!
Touchdown!
Where would you like to have dinner tonight?
Russell's, of course.
Be my guest and let us do the rest.
I was in a car accident. My front tooth cracked. I'm definitely embarrassed to smile. I got mini dental implants. It changed my life because it made me feel like me. Like I can smile and feel like Ashley. I just want to say thank you.
Mini dental implants can change your life too. You can be you again. Call us at 839-1700 for a free consultation.
I'm more than happy. I'm ecstatic.
Welcome back to the Shatkin First Down Buffalo pregame show. It is time to go inside the pocket. All right, with Sam Castronova once again going inside the pocket. And guess what you don't have to do this week?
What's that?
You don't have to talk about Joe Flacco.
Well, he's been balling.
Yeah, I guess. Burrow is who you're going to talk about, who looked like after being out for, 10 weeks or whatever it was, 9 weeks, looked like he didn't even miss a beat against the Ravens. I mean, the Ravens have a lot of really good players, and he carved them up without T. Higgins in the lineup. How do you beat him? And if Bosa can't go with his hamstring, where's the pressure coming from to make sure you collapse that pocket on him?
Yeah, that's the biggest thing with the Bengals. I feel like this year everyone always knocks their O-line, but I feel like they actually have a pretty decent O-line this year when it comes to pass protection. But Burrow looked great. I mean, he's always been really good pre-snap. Like I saw play the touchdown to Yosivas. He's moving in, brought a tight end in, brought a running back in, and they covered up everybody they need to just in time so he could step up and make the throw. So he mixed some stuff up, mixed the coverages up, not just run our all same old cover two the whole time, which is what we did in that playoff game against them, and they just looked like they were going to score every drive. But yeah, mix some stuff up on them and try and confuse them a little bit, and hopefully Bosa's ready to go. If not, then we definitely have to outcoach them, I would say.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, get rid of the ball. Mafia time. Welcome back to the Shatkin First Down Buffalo pregame show. The Mafia is in the house. You know Jared, you know Sam, you probably know Pastor Siege, who's in the house. And James McNeil's here from the Salvation Army as well. We're going to talk a little bit about what you guys are doing over the holidays. Let's start with you and talk a little bit about that.
Well, absolutely. First of all, thank you for having me here, Rich.
Of course, man.
And you too, Dr. Shatkin. I love the show. Huge fan. And going to bring some new fans to the show. Awesome. I got to let everybody know about you guys.
Awesome.
Anything that reps Buffalo, I love it. But one thing I do definitely want to promote is what we do at the Salvation Army when it comes to doing the most good in the community. And one of the things that a lot of people in the community will recognize is these barrels that we have right in front of us. So when you see these barrels, you want to give because...
And it's already started.
Yes, absolutely.
The giving has already started right here live on the program. This is pretty impressive. The power, James, that you have.
I wish I could make this happen everywhere I go because we could truly help and save a lot of families and have a lot happy kids on Christmas Day with giving. So when you see these barrels in the community, family, please come out, drop something in the barrel. It will help a lot of families around the community in Western New York.
Certainly, and obviously you got the red kettles and all of that. Also, a lot of the stores out there raising money that way too. So, 2500 Kensington Aesthetic Associates also has a barrel set up. If you want to stop by to where we actually shoot this show, make sure you do that too through the holidays over the next couple of weeks, obviously. So Salvation Army continue to do their great work here in the community. So James, I'm going to start with you as we segue into football, right? Your son doing great, playing football at UB, correct?
Absolutely. Number
Awesome.
24, running back, runs hard, plays big. He's out there just working hard out there for Pete Limbo.
Awesome, and we hear good things about Coach Pete Limbo.
Yes.
And the job that he's doing. Unfortunately, the team fell off a little bit this year. It is what it is, right? I mean, obviously with the MAC and the NIL and all of that happens, guys get kind of handpicked away from those MAC rosters all the time, right? And yes, it creates potentially an opportunity for your son, clearly, but it's tough for those teams that aren't Power Fives, right? To still maintain their wellness, if you will. But anyway, your son plays football. You're a football guy. You love football. You love the Bills. And before we even started the shoot, you were talking about the fact that if the Bills had lost, the vibe would be a lot different.
Absolutely, a whole lot different, especially in my household. I can't sleep right after a Bills loss. So I'm glad they getting it right, putting everything together the way they need to do to go against these Bengals because we need this win this week.
And they only really put together, Pastor Siege, a half of football, right?
Right. Yeah, I think a lot of what we've seen this season in their losses is they maybe even tried to make those adjustments too soon instead of sticking with their game plan and end up falling apart anyways. So it was nice to see a balanced game and them really sticking to their game plan as it was until they really saw okay, back to the drawing board, instead of just putting it in Josh Allen's hand, putting him in even harm's way, of letting him get ran over or having to run over someone else, but really just playing their game and seeing the Buffalo Bills come out in the second half was really encouraging.
And the crazy thing, Sam, about this team is that, they talk about Joe Brady having a baby. Well, his other baby is the Bills offense, right? And I don't know, he's been taking a lot of from a lot of people over the past 6-8 weeks, and yet what did he do? I mean, yes, he had 10 days to prepare for the Steelers. I think a lot of people have forgotten about that the Bills had a long time to prepare for the Steelers, but they prepared correctly. They did what they do well when they had to do it well, right?
Yeah, I mean, if the run game's working like that, it's not always super fun to watch, but you gotta support it, and if we got end of the game 23 points and the defense is getting consistent stops, then that's a recipe for success.
Jared, I want to ask you about this because I know everyone's been talking about how bad the wide receiver room is in Buffalo. Mm-hmm. And I looked at the Steelers wide receiver room. That's a terrible wide receiver room. Yeah. And then just the Bills are not alone when it comes to wide receiver rooms is I guess my point. Yeah. The Ravens wide receiver room is not great, right? And you're looking at Lamar Jackson, who clearly is not himself. He's not been healthy, but he also has basically what Josh has to throw with too. So I guess my point is, debatable?
Very debatable.
Okay, Zay Flowers?
Rashad Bateman.
I think Rashad Bateman's just a guy, like a lot of the other Bills guys.
Wasn't he first round pick though?
Oh, so what?
So still, at least they're trying.
I mean, we tried with Keon. He was a second round.
Keon did catch a touchdown.
They got back 6 today. First round picks.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. So anyway, to that point about the wide receiver core, the Bills again They did what they do well, and when they did throw it, it was okay. Like they did a good job.
Well, I think they went by their game plan. I don't think that throwing the ball was in the cards when you have both of your tackles hurt like that.
Right.
And Steelers have a good pass rush. And I think that really the changing point of the game was when Hayward and Allen started going at it. And it looked like the rest of the team took a little bit of effect to Patrick Queen hitting him after the whistle. I think it fired the team up. And then they ran duo 29 times and came up with 26 points.
Yeah. And I would say this. I mean, I think that the Bosa sack, fumble, Benford, and then the next Steeler possession, Benford pick, that turns around the entire Bills season. Like they're going to look back at those 5 minutes in that Steeler game to start the second half. That's what turned this season around for the Bills, in my opinion. I want to believe the Bills, right? They won on the road where they've had so many problems over the last 6 to 8 weeks. And now they're coming home against the Bengals team. We'll break down the Bengals, obviously, in the next segment. But
don't get your hopes too high.
Thank you for helping me with that, because I still don't know what to think of what.
That Steelers team.
Right. So I want everybody to kind of give me everybody 30 seconds on where you are with the Bills at this point. Sam, go first.
I think that Steelers team is
just terrible.
Way worse than their record.
Yeah.
They've played a pretty soft schedule. But
Okay.
the Bills are just so wishy-washy, and I love them to death. But every year I get my hopes up, and every year we lose. And this year has not been very convincing. So I'm going to kind of keep it down here and hope for the best.
Okay, Siege, what about you?
I think playing the chase on the Patriots is just bringing up some bad blood from the past. But having a game to even just get that encouragement, seeing there's life in the defense is really, I think, something that will carry us into the rest of the remainder of the season.
Yeah, James, road win in an AFC North type game.
Right.
So are you a believer going forward now?
Oh, I'm absolutely a believer. The way I look at the NFL right now, it's wide open in both the NFC and the AFC. Everybody's losing that's at the top, taking a loss here and there. And I look at the Bills, we're ripe to win it this year. The year we think we have a lot of problems, we could actually get it. And it's just to take a quote out of McDermott's book, stop getting cute.
Yeah.
Against Pittsburgh, we didn't get cute. We ran it down their throat. And that's what we need to keep doing against these next teams. And when we need to throw it, then unleash Josh.
Love it.
Let's play ball.
Love it. All right, trivia question very quickly, and then your predictions. Cordy Glenn was traded to the Bengals for the 12th overall pick in 2018 and a 5th rounder. The Bills used that 12th rounder to trade up to get who? Josh Allen. How about that? A lot of people don't know that Cordy Glenn trade resulted in Josh Allen. It's one of my favorite questions, my favorite trivia things ever. Okay, so again, for those of you that don't know, this guy's carried this group for basically the entire season. So you're eating at Sorrentino's because of him. So well done, Jared, again.
Team effort.
Right. All right, let's get your predictions on the game. Bills, Bengals, Sam first.
I never pick up against the Bills. I'll go Bills 31, Bengals 28.
Okay, Siege.
We're going to go Bills 34 and Bengals 24.
Okay.
Yep.
James.
He took my score, so I'm going to go 35-31. Bills.
Okay. Salvation Army. How can people find out more about how to give throughout the holiday season? Where can they go? Online, phone number, whatever you got to tell people. Do it.
Definitely call the Salvation Army at 716-883-9800. Just let us know what you want to do. Do you want to donate? Do you want to volunteer? Do you want to be a bell ringer and help collect money and to fund programs throughout the Salvation Army? So just give us a call, look us up online, and we'll take care of everything that you need and you want to do in the community.
And everything that you need to know is right below me here on the screen. So do that, take advantage. Guys, thank you so much. Happy holidays to both of you if we don't see you before then, okay? All right, a short break. Come back with Jared and I talking about the Bills and the Bengals after this on the Shatkin First Down Buffalo pregame show.
I am so happy with my experience that I had at I Smile Spas today. Got my teeth professionally whitened. I have months of results in less than an hour. No pain, seriously, not even a sting. They're not sensitive. You leave with a kit to continue your whitening. Absolutely incredible. I'm so happy I ever did this. I can't stop smiling.
Western New York. Smile again with confidence. Call 43-SMILE today.
It means a lot to be able to work with my dad to continue this legacy that we have going on.
I had many implants. Once I got them, it was like the old me came back.
The changes you can make in such a short period of time in somebody's life have somebody in the chair crying because they finally have a full set of teeth. And I think the only way to do it in that type of time period for that type of price is really the mini implant.
Mini dental implants can change your life too. Call us at 839-1700 for a free consultation.
Welcome back to the Shatkin First Down Buffalo pregame show. Rich and Dr. Jared, and we're talking about the Bills and the Bengals. Bengals come in 4-8, really convincing win over the Ravens, who, you know, look, I mean, they're just, Lamar's not himself. I mean, he's looked bad, and I know this because he's my fantasy quarterback, but he's looked awful since he came back from injury. So take that win for the Bengals with a grain of salt, in my opinion. But they are great when they have Joe Burrow at quarterback. It's been proven pretty much ever since he's been there. It's been proven this year. And he played well in that game. Like, he didn't miss a beat. This is going to be a tough game for the Bills.
Yeah, I think this could definitely be a shootout if things go the way the Bengals want it to go. They could score a lot of points, and Joe Burrow does a phenomenal job diagnosing the defense, and he could pick us apart pretty well. So we got to stay strong defensively. We got to get pressure on Joe Burrow. He's got that big metal rod in his cleat, and maybe he can't move quite as well. So get after him, maybe mix up the blitz a little bit, and don't let him beat you with his brain.
And Bosa, again, a question mark too coming into this game with the hamstring. Even if he does play, he's probably not going to be 100%. So that's a problem when it comes to the pass rush, clearly. So does Morgan Fox come up? We still haven't heard from him yet. So if he can't play, who replaces him? Do you now have to design some exotic blitzes and things to throw at him from the linebackers? Does Taron Johnson come off the edge? Does Trey come off the edge? Is that now a new responsibility for Babbage in this game if Bosa can't play? Is Bosa that important to the pass rush that the Bills are going to have to adjust immensely to get pressure on Joe Burrow?
I think so. I think Joey Bosa is a big player, and if he can play, if he can go through it, I think he's going to do it. But hamstring injuries are very tough. I don't want to see TJ Sanders out there at defensive end again. I think it's going to have to be some exotic blitzes, confusing Joe Burrow somehow. And, maybe we get beat a couple times, but maybe we could take the ball away a little bit too.
Yeah, I mean, the Bengals, as most people know if you've been following football all year long, they give up 31 points per game, which is a recipe for success for the Bills, right? I mean, the Bills should be absolutely drooling going into this game. They give up 5 yards per carry. They've given up 14 rushing touchdowns, 26 pass touchdowns, 8 yards per catch. The statistics lean heavily in the Bills' favor in this game.
Yeah, but they have been playing some good defense the last couple weeks. They're kind of coming along, so that is a little nerve-wracking to me. If we can get the same Bengals defense that played the Jets, then I think the Bills can put up a good fight and score a ton of points. If not, I'm a little bit worried about this one.
So what do you think about the Bills and the Bengals?
Well, everyone thinks it's going to be a shootout. I think every time somebody thinks it's going to be a shootout, it ends up being low scoring, so I'm going to go 24-17 Bills.
All right, I'll go Bills 31-27. I think it's going to be a ton of offense. The weather is going to be fine. It doesn't appear that there's going to be any stormy situations. So I think this is going to be a track meet on both sides of the football, but should be very, very entertaining. So I will take the Bills in this game. All right, got to thank some people. Dr. Todd Shatkin, Dr. Jared Shatkin, Aesthetic Associates. Also, Sorrentinos, Russells, and Napoli's. Of course, Salvation Army. Please give during the holidays. Thanks to James McNeil for joining us earlier in the Mafia. Thanks to you for watching. Go Bills. This has been the Shatkin First Down Buffalo Pregame Show.
In the Pocket is sponsored by Mini Dumpster Rental. Call 716-429-6362. This has been a production of the Shatkin Sports Network.